is so much hype around AI stuff. I have heard a lot of my juniors who are just like directly starting from AI agents or MCP servers. But what about the basics? That is the one which should be started earlier rather than just going ahead and directly jumping over the advanced stuffs. Hello everyone, myself Komal Pal, and today in this video, which will be a long length video, I'll actually let you know the roadmap of going ahead, like the last step which is there, which is MCP servers. But before that, what all things you are actually required to do. So let's get started. So if we talk about the basics, so it's like the first step which is there, your foundation should be good. And what you mean by foundation is your Python knowledge which is there, the APIs and JSON stuff, basically how APIs interact with each other, the HTTP stuff which is there, then the basic main intuition, that is the maths behind each and every stuff, not the heavy stuff, like not into much depth of maths, but basic maths you should know. Basically, you should be actually able to do like call APIs, parse responses, write clean scripts. If this is weak, everything else become a copy based learning only. So first, this foundation should be strong enough. Then the second step which is there, that second step is about what LLMs actually you should know, that yeah, what LLMs are. You shouldn't just jump over building something where you don't know that what exactly is behind the scenes. So before building anything, understand what you are using. So the key idea behind it is that LLM equals to text prediction machine, not any intelligence. So what you need to do is you need to learn about how from prompts inputs comes into picture, how tokens actually gives you cost plus limits, how context window is equals to memory limit. So you need to explore tools like OpenAI APIs which are there, Claude, and what you should build is simple chatbot like CLI or just a small UI, and prompt experiments you should do. Basically giving like your question should be same, but you need to figure out that asking that same question in different contexts, how the answers will be different. So that all things you need to do. So it's like what LLM are, they are simply just text prediction machine, not the real intelligence. Now comes the third step, which is there. That is the core AI tooling. This is where real power starts. If your foundations are strong, that is your maths, API call, then knowledge about the LLM. Now comes the part that how you need to use AI to building with AI. So for that, what you exactly need to learn is the prompt engineering, where structure is much more important than the creativity part. Then function calling or tool usage, embedding for search or memory, and the important frameworks to learn is LangChain and Llama Index. So what now you need to build is you need to basically build like question and answer on your own documents. That is the RAG system which is there. AI assistant that can call APIs. And this stage is where you become dangerous, and that also in a good way. So you should actually try these out. This is the third step which is there. And after this third step, then comes into the picture the fourth step which is there. And that fourth step is the RAG part, retrieval augmented generation. This is the backbone of most real world AI apps. So here the concept is that LLM plus your data equals to useful system. So first thing which you need to learn is vector databases, chunking, and retrieval strategies. And the tools which you can use is Pinecone and FAIS fast, that thing you need to use. And what you exactly need to build is chat with PDFs or docs and internal knowledge assistant. So these things you need to build for the RAG part, and this was the fourth part in our whole roadmap. Now comes the fifth part which is there, that is AI agents. And this is that part where you don't need to jump early. Before AI agent stuff, you need to go through all the four steps which I told you, and then you need to come here with this AI agent part. So this is the most overhyped layer, and that is the most popular mistake which everyone do. Maybe not everyone, but almost everyone do. So here agents actually refers to LLM tools and the decision loop. So basically here what you need to learn is planning versus reacting, tool selection, and memory handling. So here frameworks which you can use is AutoGPT or Crew AI. And here what you need to build is agent that searches the web, that summarizes, that takes action. Because these are those AI agents, the agents which are actually working with the help of AI. So here these things will come into picture. And if you skip earlier steps now, then agents feel like a magic. With basics, they are just simple. So simple that you will be like, wow, why it was so complicated? It was all complicated because you hadn't learned all the basics. So now this AI agent stuff is complete. Now next comes into picture the last step which is there. That is the MCP. That is Model Context Protocol. I was thinking to create videos about the MCP directly, but then I thought that a lot of people who are not working, like if they directly jump over the MCP, then it like you guys won't be able to understand that what exactly things are there. So that's why it's important you follow all the 5 steps which I told before and then come to this MCP part. So it's like this is the newer and honestly confusing at first. That is for surely true. Like in the because of the industrial experience and doing all those stuffs and because my basics were clear, so that's why MCP was not as such like not a bad thing or not a confusing thing for me. But if someone who's out of college or who is a fresher, if that person directly jumps to MCP, then it is exactly confusing for that person. So here the simple idea for the MCP is that it is a standard way for LLMs to talk to tools or data. So think it about instead of custom integration, it actually does as a one protocol. So here what you need to learn is tool schemas, context sharing, and interoperabilities. So where it's used is like in Cloud Desktop, the MCP support is there. Tool ecosystem built around the MCP. Basically, like in IBM, Bob is being used, and inside that we can have multiple MCP servers because of which it can think in that direction the way that MCP actually wanted to. Then we have like whatever AI agents and whatever tools which are there which we use inside that we can actually integrate MCP, and because of that it will actually work so good that the errors which are there that completely get reduced, like almost no errors. Now comes the part that what you can build out of that. So now here the thing will be that connect LLM to local files, APIs, databases via MCP. So like what I did was I had a GitHub MCP server in my AI agent which was there, and because of that I was actually trying to like everything which I need to do in the remote GitHub repo, everything I was able to do with the help of my AI agent itself because of the MCP server. So this was like one example. So like that only you can try to connect LLM to local files, APIs, databases via MCP. But although this feels like so simple to use, but behind the scenes, you should know that what exactly is happening around. And then the last step, which is there, means when you know each and everything out of these, then comes the next part. That this is what separates cool demo from real engineer, the production mindset. So basically, you need to learn about latency plus cost optimization, prompt versioning, logging plus evals, and also the guardrails to avoid hallucinations. Because it's often a lot of tools if we use, actually these AI tools hallucinate a lot. So it's important you have guardrails, you have caching responses so that they actually don't hallucinate. So that is the most important for becoming a really good engineer in this AI field, which is there, rather than just directly jumping over AI agents or MCP servers, which is actually the last step. And before that, go through all the roadmap. I'll actually in the description itself, I'll mention the roadmap and even the time frames for the same so that you can like directly go over and check out what all things you need to do for each and everything. So yeah, this was all. If you really like this video, subscribe to my channel and also comment out what next roadmap you require or what exact video require out of these topics which I have actually told you. So this was all for today. Thank you.